Hello, welcome back to All Day Everyday Preparedness, and this is All Day Everyday Preparedness News. Now, Bill Gates recently visited the continent of Africa and made a stop in the country of Kenya. Now, if you haven't heard, why was Bill Gates in Kenya after all? Well, he was there to push his GMO foods onto the Kenyans. And if not pushing the jab to Kenyans wasn't bad enough, now he's pushing GMO foods as well. Now let's take a look at this clip of Bill during his visit to Kenya and see exactly what he's pushing on the people of Kenya with these GMO foods.
Organic food is a small part of the market that's very expensive. But, you know, every piece of bread I've ever eaten is high productivity wheat, GMO wheat. Every piece of corn I've ever eaten is GMO corn. So these are things that billions of years of using these products have been done. Anyway, these are proven products. Nobody's trying to take something that hundreds of millions of people haven't already been eating with a perfect safety record.
Vice Chancellor, Deans of faculties, university staff, students, and distinguished guests. I'm excited to be here at the University of Nairobi. This is my first time in Africa since the pandemic, and even longer since I've been in Kenya. It's an overdue trip, but I was looking forward to it. It's so important to meet people doing the real work, to go to the health clinics, to go to the farms, and understand how people are dealing with it.
You know it's a bad sign when Bill Gates shows up to your country pushing his GMO food or any other of his sustainability or climate control BS. Now, did you hear that clip? Bill said he's never eaten a piece of bread that wasn't GMO. Now, I find that hard to believe, guys. Now, I don't think Bill goes to Walmart and buys a regular loaf of bread like many Americans do. I just don't buy it, guys. And I would say without a shadow of a doubt that he doesn't eat fast food or many of the regular foods that most Americans eat. Now, you're never going to see Bill Gates in a McDonald's drive-thru, and I would say that he doesn't really eat all these foods with all these chemicals and preservatives in them that's been known to cause harm to the human body, but he certainly will push them. Now, again, I'm sure you're not going to see him buying a loaf of Sara Lee bread anytime soon or at all in Walmart. I mean, all these chemicals, guys, and these preservatives are bad for us, but we eat them every single day. And it doesn't matter what food it is, especially if it's canned or prepackaged. You know, have you ever just read the back of the label and seen all those names on it? I mean, a typical loaf of bread should say flour, water, salt, sugar, and yeast, and that's it. But that's not what you get, guys. You get all those chemical names, long drawn out names that's hard to pronounce. And these chemicals, guys, or you can call them preservatives if you'd like, but I call them chemicals. Now, in many other countries, they ban the same preservatives and chemicals that we routinely put in our food here in America every single day. And I said in the last video, guys, that we are at war, and we have been for some time. You see, they're attacking us at all angles right now. And unfortunately, they are winning this war. Now, not to get off topic too far, but let's take a look at these McDonald's fries here in America. Let's look at the ingredients. So as you can see, guys, there's 14 different ingredients or chemicals, as I call them, in the McDonald's fries. Now, compare that to the UK version of the same McDonald's fries, and you can clearly see that they only have 4 ingredients, guys, because many of, again, these other countries, they ban these ingredients from being placed in their food, but not here in America, not with the good old FDA. They'll approve almost anything, guys, as we witnessed over the last year or two with the big V. So just take a look, guys. I mean, these ingredients are ridiculous of what they're putting into our food, and what is deemed safe here in America is deemed unsafe in other countries like the UK and others. Okay, getting back on track with Bill Gates and his push for these GMO foods in Kenya. You see, GMOs, guys, as you know, hopefully, are bad news. I mean, just ask most farmers around the world if GMOs are a good thing or if they're a bad thing, and they're going to tell you that they're a bad thing. Because once you start using GMOs, you cannot regrow seed from that GMO seed. You have to continually purchase those seeds because they've been patented and designed not to be able to regrow. You see, man and big industry have taken over our food production, and they're going to take it over here in the next little bit to where, again, if you're not doing your own farming, you're not growing your own food, you're not growing your own meat, guys, it's going to be extremely expensive. plus all the negative and unknown damage that's done to our bodies, guys, by eating this GMO junk. Now let's look at some clips from some brave Kenyans that were sounding the alarm, and they were asking their prime minister to think twice about letting those GMOs into their country of Kenya.
GMOs. Madam Speaker, one of the members when they were speaking earlier was saying that most of us are speaking out of conjecture. Madam Speaker, I'm glad this House has people who are very well educated. My master's I did on intellectual property rights on plant genetic resources. And I can tell you one of the main things I dealt with was GMOs. And I can tell you that even in the United States, where Bill Gates is coming from, this is a very contentious issue. And if it is so good, then he needs to go and sell the GMOs in his own country. We cannot be used as guinea pigs for things that we don't know yet, and the impact as this country. We are already dealing with a high impact of cases of cancer. We don't know if these GMOs are going to cause cancer, or if actually they are the ones contributing to cancer, because somehow people still find a way of bringing them in. So, Madam Speaker, let us not use our children and our people as guinea pigs.
So as you can see, at least some of them seem to get it, and they're pushing back against big pharma, against big GMO foods from taking hold of their country. The woman that you saw in the clip was well versed on GMOs, and as you heard her say, she did some of her master's research on the very subject of GMOs, so she knows what she's talking about, and she doesn't want her people to fall victim to some of the things that's fallen victim to us here in America and around the world, especially in these Western nations that we live in, because it's a big thing with these GMOs, guys. We all know all the occurrences of illness and disease, more specifically cancer, guys, how that's going around at a rapid rate, and more people every single day. And that has to be correlated to our food, to our water, to the air that we breathe. Now let's look at some statistics from 2020 up until now on cancer and which countries rank the highest. As you can see here, Australia is ranking number 1 and America is ranked 4th on the list. Now, one other thing that you'll notice here, guys, is that these are mostly Western nations that are ranking the highest for cancer per 100,000 cases. And I believe that correlates directly to our lifestyle, to our living, to our eating, the very foods that we eat on a daily basis, because all this junk is put in them. And again, a lot of this stuff is deemed unsafe in some other countries, but we definitely use a lot of it here in America. Also, guys, you can see one of the big things with Australia being number 1 is melanoma or skin cancer. But again, as you know, Australia is very hot. They have a very hot climate, a much sunnier climate than we do here in the United States. And that would be part of that for that reason. But what I'm more focused on, instead of skin cancers or cancers on the surface, I'm talking about the internal ones. And again, America ranks number 4. So if you threw out melanoma, we probably could actually rank a little bit higher, if not number 1 on that list. And again, I believe that's directly linked and related to this Western diet that we eat on a daily basis. Also, guys, if you look here, you can see that New Zealand is 2nd, much like Australia. Ireland comes in 3rd on the list, just in front of America. So again, as you can see, the top 10 countries are all considered Western nations. And that's no big surprise to me, guys, because this Western diet has been the demise of so many people over the years. Now look at this. Look at the lowest ranking countries on this list. All are from the African continent. And that's based on basically because their diet is mainly based on plants, some meat, but very little chemicals, very little processed foods and GMOs in their diet. So that young lady that was speaking out about this to her prime minister, that's what she was speaking about, because she can see the damage that's done in these Western nations, unfortunately, that many of us live in, and we're part of this Western diet. But again, they have the lowest prevalence on the African continent, again, because they don't eat all those prepackaged foods. They're not eating all those chemicals and putting all that GMO into their bodies. So as you can see there, Niger has the lowest case rate of 40.4, followed by the Gambia with 42.8. So guys, there's definitely something to this GMO being present in our food, and the occurrence of cancer and sickness, I believe, is directly correlated to it. You see, the plan is working, guys. And I'm not even talking about the video that I made a few videos back on Died Suddenly, the documentary, and the Big V. I'm talking about getting rid of us slowly by our diet. That plan is working as well, guys. It's working to a T. I mean, just just look at all the cases of heart disease and diabetes and high blood pressure and all those conditions. You see, we're eating ourselves to death. Now, I'm not telling you again what to eat or how to eat, but if possible, you need to make sure that you are eating plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. Organic. But if it's not organic, that's a little bit more expensive. Make sure that you're washing the outside of your fruits and vegetables very well before you eat it or before you cook it. Because let me tell you guys, there is healing in the earth, guys. There's healing directly from the food that we can consume in our bodies. And that healing doesn't come from big pharma or from GMO foods. There's healing in the plants. And those plants have nutrients and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that kill cancer, guys, right in the fruits and vegetables that we are supposed to be eating on a regular basis. That's scientifically proven, guys. And don't just take my word for it. There's plenty of people and channels right here on YouTube that promote healthy eating as a way not only to prevent those diseases, but also to reverse them over time with the proper diet. So again, I'm not telling you what to eat, but if you want to overcome some of those conditions that I mentioned, more specifically diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, those started more than likely by diet, guys, or lifestyle, meaning that they can be reversed by diet and lifestyle as well. If you get hooked on big pharma, guys, as you know, you're just managing your disease. You're just managing your illness. And that's not the way that the Father intended for us. He intended us to have life and have it more abundantly. But we can't do that if we're eating ourselves to death. If we're falling into the trap of the enemy and eating his foods that he wants us to eat, that's causing our disease. We have to go back to the earth, eat from the earth, grow from the earth, and put back into the earth, guys. That's how you're going to heal. It's been proven. And I'll tell you exactly why. My mother has diabetes, guys, among some other conditions. So I went with her to the doctor. This was about a year or so ago. And I just asked him straight out. I said, hey, doctor, if my mother were to eat an all vegetarian diet, meaning healthy fruit, vegetables, leafy greens, could she reverse these conditions? And you know what? He looked right at me like he was surprised that I knew that information and said, yes, that she would. And, I'm not going to lie, it's still a struggle to get her to do that, but she knows that. She heard that come from his own mouth. And I at least give him credit for telling the truth. So guys, if any of you are watching this video and you have any of those conditions, it can be reversed with your diet and lifestyle. And that alone. Over time, you will be able to come off of that and reverse those conditions. And if you don't believe me, guys, next time, if you have one of those conditions in your own medication, when you go to your doctor, ask them straight up, if I refrain from meat, eat all vegetarian diet, can I overcome and reverse these conditions? And if they're honest with you, they will tell you the truth. But see, most doctors don't want to tell you the truth, guys, because they need you to be sick. They're making money off you being sick. If everyone is well, they cannot make money. And don't get me wrong, guys, I love eating meat, but it does have to be a balanced diet. You need to have plenty of fruits, plenty of vegetables, a part of your diet as well. But again, if you're trying to overcome any of those conditions, then you do need to stop eating meat until you overcome those conditions, because that is a scientific fact, guys. No matter how small a portion of meat that you eat in your diet or how large a portion you eat, it does contribute to hardening and blocking of your arteries. Whereas the fruits, the leafy green vegetables, they do the opposite. They help clear out the arteries and your blood vessels and your veins. That's scientifically proven as well. I'm not sure exactly what the chemical compound in the plants and vegetables are called, but it is a scientific fact. So if someone knows what that's called, certainly comment that down below in the comments. Part of prepping is taking care of our health too. But trust me, guys, you need some fresh, healthy food too, because it does do wonders for our bodies. So it's very important to be able to grow our own fresh food, especially during these challenging and difficult times that's coming up ahead. So I urge you to invest in some seeds, maybe even look into some indoor growing, like right now during the winter, and then you can supplement that when warmer temperatures come back in the spring and summer. You can grow outside, but you want to be able to grow inside as well if you can. So I'm going to leave some links in the descriptions for some materials and some supplies that you may want to pick up on Amazon that I recommend. But again, guys, I hope that you'll look into more healthy eating so you can be around as long as you're supposed to be here on this earth. Now, again, part of prepping is growing your own fresh food, GMO free and organic. So I hope that you all got something out of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share this video with others. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd love to have you come aboard. Also, don't forget to leave some comments down below about this video and share your thoughts so we can discuss it in the comments section. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Continue to prepare, and as always, be blessed.